is baseball. Told straight. You're listening to NorCal Sports Network. No homers, no casuals. Just truth. Let's go! All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. We got a dandy on our hands here in the WBC final, the championship. We got a review going on right now in the top of the ninth with nobody out. We had a stolen base, and he looked like he was safe to me, but the U.S. is challenging it, and we'll see. He was pinch running, set for Luis Arraez, who led off the ninth with a walk. Let's see. Oh, he's safe. He's safe. Does he come off the bag? No. I think he's safe. Come on, you can't get that nitpicky. His spikes might have come off the middle of the bag. That's not. Oh, well. I think he's still safe. Still think he's still safe. But what a game. 2-2 after a Bryce Harper home run finally got the U.S. off of the board. He's safe. He's safe. All right, here. Let's we got nobody out in the top of the ninth. They've got a man on second. Walking the leadoff batter, Luis Arraez, not a good thing. Never walk the leadoff guy, right? You can't walk the leadoff guy. But here we are, guys. We're bringing it to you live. I've got the best thing I can have. I don't have a USA hat, so I got my Giants Sanford 4th of July. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, 2-2 count with Whitlock on the mound for the U.S. It's Suarez, the DH for Venezuela, Eugenio Suarez at the plate. And here comes the 2-2 pitch, popped out of play. Whoa. Hey, I haven't got it yet, Nick. No, I haven't got it yet. I was busy all day today, but I will look into that definitely. It sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, thanks, beautiful chicken. Appreciate that. Really do. All right, here we go. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Up high, 3-2, full count. Well, if he walks this guy right here, I think we might see Tyler Rogers for a double play. But then you got to realize Venezuela's probably going to sacrifice runners over to second, third. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Line drive into left center field. Pete Crow Armstrong, it's in there. A run's going to score. It's a double for Suarez, and Venezuela goes up 3-2. Whoa. What a game. That was the biggest double of his life. And let's rip on Bob Nightingale for a minute, please, because this guy's just a big jackass. Bob Nightingale, take him off I'm going to take him off my alerts because I put him on for during the winter meetings for trades. But, we're watching the game and we're streaming if you're whatever TV service you have. It's delayed from the live, and he announces Bryce Harper's home run like a whole pitch to almost 2 pitches before it was even shown on TV. So I put out a little I let him have it. I told him he was stuffed in his locker growing up. I guarantee you guys like Tim Kawakami and Andrew Baggerly and guys like Bob Nightingale, they were stuffed in their school lockers by the jocks. I guarantee it. They were geeks. They got stuffed in their locker because they were just nerds. And they're still nerds. Okay. 3-2, nobody out, man on second. Are they going to let's see. No, they're not going to play small ball. They've got Jimenez up to the plate. And it's now 3-2. Wow. Who's coming up? We got Schwarber leading off the bottom of the ninth. And then you got Gunnar Henderson. I'm pinch hitting Gunnar Henderson, I think, for Bregman. Guys, I need that. The guy's been hot. He's been hitting home runs. Yeah, lousy bullpen blows it. Yeah. Lousy bullpen, Mark. Guys, I got to tell you something with this Tariq Skubal thing. It kind of irritates me about Skubal. 2-strike pitch. Why is Tariq Skubal in the dugout tonight and not pitching? I get it. It's probably Scott Boras that's telling him he can't pitch, risk his big giant contract. But either you're on the team or you're not. I mean, why do you get to play for you get to pitch in pool play? Who did he pitch against? Some rinky-dink team, wasn't it? I mean, who'd they have in their bracket before they lost to Italy? It was like Great Britain and Brazil and Mexico, I think it was, maybe. Did he pitch against Mexico? Something like that. But come on. Yeah, it was still Skubal's decision. Absolutely. To me, I lost a lot of respect for Tariq Skubal. I mean, you popped up into left field for an easy out to Roman Anthony. No runners advance, 1 out. 3-2, Venezuela, top of the ninth. I just don't like the fact that Skubal didn't pitch. What is he going to go pitch for? He pitched over a week ago, right? What's he going to go just pitch for Detroit Tigers in spring training? Is he only throwing at 75%? Is he not trying in the spring training game? Or come on, you can hurt your arm at any point and any time you throw a ball. So I don't know. To me, if I would have heard he was going to pitch one game in pool play, I would say, sorry, Tariq, I need your commitment. You're not on my team. I mean, Mark DeRosa, come on. How weak is that you're going to placate to a guy who is going to pitch for you in pool play? And then, I mean, come on. I'm sitting here talking about it. How many guys behind Skubal's back players are talking about, like, how committed is Skubal? What a weasel, what a wimp. There's got to be guys that are talking like that. They'll never say it to his face. They'll never say it publicly. They'll all support him and say, oh, yeah, man, I understand. That's Tariq's decision. But to a man, a lot of those guys are, man, like they're playing for their country. They've been putting their heart into it. And you got some guy that doesn't want to pitch because he's afraid of, Yeah, exactly, NorCal. No way anybody respects that. If you played the game, I guarantee players are talking and not respecting. It's just weak. It's very, very weak. And, you got to go with a rookie in Nolan McLean who looks like he's going to be a stud of a pitcher, but he's a rookie. He's pitched in 8 big league games, and you're putting him in the championship game. All the players to this, Venezuela is they want this more than you listen to Mikel Garcia the other night. They were talking to him after they beat Italy last night on the set on Fox. And he said, they asked him the question, is this thing anything like Kansas City? And he says, not even close. Not even close. This is so much more important to the Venezuelans, to the Dominicans, to the Italians, to Mexico, to Japan. It's more important to these players that play in the major leagues than even a World Series in many cases. This is pride. And you got a guy like Tariq Skubal who's sitting in the dugout. Man, I wouldn't want that guy's butt in my dugout when he's not committed. It's like a cancer on your squad. Tyler Rogers into the bat now and into pitching. 1-1. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch, he gets in there. He's facing Ezequiel Tovar, the shortstop of the Colorado Rockies. Here comes, all right, Rogers set. He winds. The 1-1 pitch popped up on the infield. Oh, they might get a double play out of this. Nope, he got back in time. Suarez was taken off on the pitch. He was stealing. He was trying to steal third. Wow. It's too bad they didn't. Maybe the base coach got a hold of him. Anyway, someone's calling me right now, and I don't have time to take a phone call. Okay. Hold on here a second. 1 sec. Plays under. Oh, he touched third. Did he touch third? Let's see. Oh, he touched third again. He touched third. They're reviewing. He slid into third, and he went over the bag. They're reviewing to see if he touched third on his way back to second, which he did. So, come on. What are we reviewing this for? You can't see that? Who's calling that? So, he touched third. He's fine. Okay. You probably won't get this analysis on some of these other channels. They probably don't know that you got to touch third. Yeah. Some of the other channels would be like, what happened? Yeah. No, he's got to, if he touches third, he's got to retouch it to go back to second. Otherwise, he'd be out. But Judge is an elite choker. 0 for 4 in the game that matters, of course. Why? Oh, the U.S. is out of challenges. Why would you challenge that, DeRosa? Now you're out of challenges. And you might need a challenge. Oh, man. Come on. Somebody's got to see that. You got to look at the replay, somebody on the bench, and say, that's not worth challenging. You guys, what do you guys think? It's going to be Schwarber. They're probably facing a righty. I don't know if they have a lefty in the bullpen. Are you guys pinch hitting Gunnar Henderson for Alex Bregman, or is Alex Bregman too much of a clutch hitter to take out? What do you guys think in the chat? I want to know. I definitely would not let Bryce Terang bat. You know, I really felt good about Harper when he came up. I said to myself, I'm watching the game by myself, and I said, he's so clutch. He comes up in the big moments. You've seen him in the playoffs. And he did. He came through. All right, check swing. It's a ball. Perez is up. Salvador Perez, the big catcher DH for the Kansas City Royals. Venezuela's got a good team. Not as good as the Dominican, and shouldn't be as good as the U.S. There's a drive to left field. He's got a beat on it. Anthony, inning over. We go to the bottom of the ninth. U.S. needs at least one to keep it alive. It is Schwarber, Bregman, and Anthony. All right. 21-year-old batting third. Wow. In this inning. When are you going to get Gunnar Henderson in there? I don't know, guys. What do you think? Anybody have any thoughts on this? What's your thoughts? USA had Buster Catching and Craw, shortstop, and Jim Lehman when they won in 17. 2029, they better not have DeRosa. Give me Crochet instead of no balls Skubal. Yes, exactly. I wouldn't even want Skubal anymore. Come on, man. He had his shot. He had his shot. Oh, an invite to the show? I'll have to reach out to Vince. I haven't been able to do that. All right. Skubal, first class weenie. So, you know, it's funny, guys. Last night I was watching the Venezuela versus Italy. And I don't know if you guys watched it or noticed it, but they were promoting Venezuela like crazy. Like Italy was not even like in the game to the way. I mean, every shot was about Venezuela. They've never been in a championship. They've never won the championship. And I started thinking to myself, this feels like orchestrated, like they're trying to push Venezuela or something. And, and then tonight, they never won, and they're highlighting the coach. This is his last WBC, and he was able to talk his wife into it and said, we're winning it all this time, It just feels like it's, I know it's not, but it's just kind of funny how things work out that way. But I'll tell you, this USA team is pathetic these guys are hittable. These guys are not top relievers for Venezuela. And come on, Eduardo Rodriguez, has stunk the last 2 years with Arizona. He is not a big-time pitcher. And for him to shut out this team, come on. Come on. All right, here we go to the 9th. Schwarber's a clutch guy too, guys. I think Schwarber's a guy that can put one out of the park. Palencia. I think they're going to pinch hit Gunnar Henderson. Yep, he looks like he's on deck. Let me see. Yep, he's going to pinch hit. Good move. That was the move I was looking for. Okay, the 1-0 pitch to Schwarber. He swung at a pitch that was up high in the zone, ball 2. Come on, Schwarber. You got to get on base, man. You can't be trying to be hero ball. You're trying to knock it out of the park, and that's what all these guys have been trying to do tonight. Just get on base. A walk's as good of a hit, then you pinch run. Swung on a miss on a changeup. Wow. 1-2 to Schwarber. Gee whiz. 1-2. All right, here we go. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Palencia. Way outside. 2-2. Should be 3-1 right now. He's only thrown 1 strike in 4 pitches, but it's 2-2 because Schwarber helped him out. Come on. All right. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, struck him out. Out number 1. Schwarber looks like he chased a pitch that was just out of the zone, but it might have been a strike. It was right there. Let's see here. Where's the box? Yeah, might have been there. It was a little high, but might have been right at the top of the zone. You got to protect at that point with 2 strikes. Yeah, exactly, Nick. You got to go take a walk, man. You're the leadoff hitter. I used to bat leadoff when I played, and my job was somehow, whatever it took, get on base, set the table for the big boppers. And, if I had to bunt to get on base or take a walk, or wait for my pitch and drive one for a base hit or a double, I'd do it, but I wasn't chasing. These guys trying to be hero ball. That's the problem, is Schwarber knows he's got the power. I didn't have the power, so I never tried to go for, I was never trying to hit a home run. I was kind of like Dwayne Kuiper, Okay, it's out 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Henderson looks like it's going to be out number 2. It's on the infield. Garcia underneath it at third. He's got it, 2 down, and the U.S. is down to their final out. And it's going to be, who's batting 6th? Is it going to be Cal Raleigh? Who's going to come up? Oh, it's Roman Anthony. Roman Anthony. Now, you got a guy on your bench that's hit 60 homers last year, the big bopper. Anthony, good player. He is young. Do you here it is. Here we go. Palencia on the mound. They're going to go crazy, Valencia, if they win this. Venezuela. He's very high with that pitch. He looks, man, I would have waited this guy out. Patient, man. He's nervous. He's never been in this pressure of a situation in his life. Bottom of the 9th. Wait, make him throw strikes. There's a pitch that's just on the corner, 1-1, 98 miles per hour. He's throwing probably nothing but fastballs. He might come in with a change. He might come in with some type. Here we go. 1-1. All right, a little break. Timeout. He's adjusting his pants. Palencia. We got the camera on Mark DeRosa. He's doing this. Okay, he's ready. Here's Palencia's 1-1 pitch. Strike two. He threw the off speed right there. He threw the splitter in there for a strike. U.S. down to their last strike. Miguel Cabrera jumping up and down for Venezuela in the dugout, going crazy, waiting for that last out. And Bob Nightingale, thanks for ruining again, you jerk. I guess they lost. Thanks, Bob. You can't wait. Put Bob Nightingale in a trash can and turn it over, please. Now we got to delay. Jeez. Thanks, Bob. You just can't wait to be the first guy. He's such an idiot. Such an idiot. Okay, so the drama's gone. Venezuela's going to win this on this next pitch. I don't know how it ends, but here's the 1-2 pitch to Roman Anthony. Swung on a miss, and USA goes down fittingly. These guys, how many strikeouts tonight for had to be? This looked like the San Francisco Giants lineup the last couple years. They had to have over 10 Ks. Let me look. I'm gonna look up the box score for you guys and tell you how many Ks that U.S. had tonight. But Venezuela wins it 3-2. And now Jeff Passan just tweets like he's a normal guy. Jeff Passan's a normal guy. Bob Nightingale, Tim Kawakami, Andrew Baggerly. Those are all the dudes that got stuffed in their locker. I guarantee it. USA had 10 strikeouts tonight. That's what I thought. About 10. Too many strikeouts. Hit the ball. Put it in play. These guys, you got 2 runs off one swing of the bat from Bryce Harper in 9 innings. In maybe one of the best lineups ever assembled. That one in the DR. Wow. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Well, Venezuela deserved it. That's all I can say is they deserved to win. They wanted it more. They had more pride. U.S. was not set up, man. It was not set up right. You had your 4th pitcher going tomorrow. I'm reading the chat. You had your 4th pitcher going in the championship game because you only had 2 aces. You had Paul Skeens and Logan Webb. You needed that 3rd bona fide ace, and you couldn't do it. And you didn't set up the team right. And I blame Skubal. I blame Mark DeRosa for allowing Skubal. Where was that 3rd pitcher? Where was Garrett Crochet? Where was give me some pitchers, guys, that could have been on Team USA that would have been a better fit. I'm thinking of Garrett Crochet. Who else is out there? I'd have to. No, it's not McLean's fault. No, he pitched decent enough. He's a rookie. Let me look at where's Carlos Rodon, a veteran? Where's how about some of the I'm looking here for some aces on some teams. I'm looking at these hats. Well, we all know Blake Snell. He's a wuss. Hunter Brown, Gravy. There's one. Hunter Brown. Where's Hunter Brown? Where's Max Fried? Exactly. Hunter Green's hurt, actually, so he's out for a while. Let's see. Who's the we got guys in the Pirates. Let's see. No, I'm looking at Atlanta. Where's Spencer Strider? I know he was hurt last year, but he came back last year. Where's Spencer Strider? Where's I don't know. It's just you put it in the hands of a rookie. He did his best, you know. How about Kevin Gosman? There's a guy. Zach Wheeler's still hurt, I think, Gravy. Yeah, Joe Ryan. There you go. Yeah. So U.S. didn't got too many guys in the lineup that all swinging for the fences, you know. How about Bobby Witt, man? He took the walk before Harper's 2-run homer. Sonny Gray, I think he's not there anymore, Glenn, the 5. I don't think he has much left in the tank. But yeah, what do you know? It is what it is, though, right? So why don't we get? I mean, let's yeah, there's not a whole lot of names. A lot of the pitchers are with different countries, you know. A lot of these top pitchers are with other countries, but you know, you would like to see a couple of veteran guys, you know, whether it be a Gosman or a Joe Ryan. You know, Blake Snell was healthy, but he's still not even healthy. So it is what it is. But Venezuela wins it all. Yeah, I hear you, Pasha, on Crochet. I think Max Fried would have been good. Rodon could have given you, you know, few innings. I think he would have been pumped up. Hunter Brown, absolutely, I agree. But anyway, we wouldn't even be talking about this if Skubal would have just showed up, you know. Skubal, I don't know. Does this follow Skubal, guys? Does this follow Skubal in his career that he's selfish when it comes down to it? I mean, is he likely to get hurt throwing a baseball in the World Baseball Classic in March? You know, maybe, but they babied these guys. I mean, you saw it. They didn't throw anybody over 70 pitches. I think Webb, what did Webb throw the other night? 71 pitches? Come on. Webb's got to start now. He's coming back to Arizona, and he's likely to start on, well, today's Tuesday. Is Webb going to fly into Arizona and pitch Thursday or Friday? He's pitching one of those 2 days here in Arizona because he's scheduled to pitch Wednesday. So if he pitches Friday, that gives him 4 days rest: Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So is he going to pitch Friday, or is he going to pitch Thursday? They give him 5 days rest, because Logan Webb's going to have to throw in this next outing. He's going to have to throw 80 to 85 pitches here in the spring training game down here when it's 105 degrees. They're going to have to give Logan Webb a start to get him ramped up so that he can go 95 pitches or more on opening day. So we'll see. That's what's going to happen. But Webb and Skeens, yeah. Yeah. I don't think I don't like it. I don't like what Skubal did. So hold on, guys. I'm gonna send a link to our buddy Los. Dallas is up in Montreal tonight with business, so he's unable to join the show as normal. He would. But we're going to turn this into some Giants talk here. We'll mix in a little more WBC, but I want to get to the Giants because we're 8 days away, everyone, from opening day. 8 days away, next Wednesday. And this game will be on Netflix. If you're not going to the game, I don't know if you're blacked out, if you live in the Bay Area, or if you're able to get the game, how that works. Yeah, congratulations, Venezuela. They earned it. They shut down the U.S. They shut down that killer lineup, made them look pretty bad. Yeah. Tony V's our coach. Exactly. Good thing he is not the Giants coach. I was, or manager. Anyway, yeah, it sucks. It's on Netflix. I mean, I have Netflix, so fortunately I'll be able to watch it, but it stinks that they're going to put the first game of the season on Netflix. Come on, what is MLB doing? All right, we welcome in. Oh, he's got his green on. I might have to put my green on. I forgot it's St. Patty's Day. There's my green. There's my green, everybody. Look at that. I got a shirt similar to that. I could go put my green Diablo Valley College shirt on, Los.
Yeah, go put it on. You got to represent. It's St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day, man. But you represent Mexico. I represent Italy. You're not Irish.
I know, but I went to Sacred Heart High School, and we're the Fighting Irish. So
I know the Fighting Irish. There you go. Look at that, the Irish. What'd you think of this World Baseball Classic? I mean, Eduardo Rodriguez shuts down that lineup through 5 innings. How does that happen?
I was thinking the same thing when I saw the pitching matchup. I thought the U.S. bats would kind of wake up. They've been sleeping the whole tournament and kind of just getting by on pitching. And it finally caught up to them. You know, they have a lineup that we talk about a lot, has a lot of power, not a lot of high batting averages on it for the most part. And there's just more holes in people's swings when they have a lot of power. And, you know, they were trying to play hero ball late in the game and trying to just hit it out. You see how Venezuela won the game. You know, they played small ball. I'm surprised when they got up 3-2 and they had a guy at second that they didn't butt him over and try to get an insurance run.
But they did try and steal it. But he popped out. Suarez tried to steal third, and it is interesting. But man, I look at that pitching staff of Venezuela. They didn't have any lefties in the pen. Why that wasn't stacked with lefties later in the lineup? I mean, they finally brought Henderson in, and they brought up in PCA. They let these guys. I mean, I don't think DeRosa did a horrible job managing, but really in this game, I mean, what do you do when your guys aren't hitting? I mean, nobody hit.
Got to hold the players accountable. They did not come through. That was not a great pitching staff. That was a very below average starter. And you know, hey, right at the top of the list was the captain, Aaron Judge. You know, just, you know, other than game one, when the first at bat he hit it out, he didn't really do much the whole tournament. And that's kind of his MO in the World Series. He didn't really show up a lot either. So, you know, Barry Bonds had that reputation for a while until he finally broke out against the Angels. But yeah, Judge did not have a good series. Neither did Schwarber. Those are their two big poppers. You know, it was the guys like Gunnar Henderson that are just, you know, more contact hitters, better batting average hitters that did some damage. So, you know, this just kind of proves our point. You know, you don't have to have a lineup full of 220, 230 hitters hitting 30 to 35 bombs. We would probably rather have our lineup full of a bunch of 280, 290 hitters hitting 12 to 18 homers with speed, because you can win games that way as well. And it was proven just now.
Yeah, I thought I thought Armstrong looked good in this. Henderson looked pretty good. Bobby Witt's just an all-world player, even though he didn't hit that great in the WBC. He's a great player. Harper, he comes through as a clutch player. I mean, I just had a good feeling about him coming up after Witt walked. I says, Harper's a guy that can. I've seen him do it in the playoffs with Philly, but Los. It looked to me like they were pressing, like they were trying to everybody be the hero. Like Schwarber, for example, in the bottom of the ninth, he could have taken that second pitch. It was a ball, would have been 2-0. Instead, he swung at a pitch out above the strike zone. He was trying to crush it out instead of you're the leadoff guy. Like I was telling the chat, I was a leadoff hitter. I knew I didn't have the power. I wasn't a home run threat at all. So I knew what my job was. Get on base somehow. If I got a bunt, I got to walk, I got to hit a single or a double. That was me. I was a contact hitter. I rarely struck out, but I had good bat control. But I never, hit. I wasn't a guy that was going to drive it over the fence. So even though Schwarber is, but you got to, in that situation, you got to have your mindset that, look, a walk, just getting on base is critical. They probably would have pinch ran and maybe tried to steal second. I don't know.
Look at how each team's rallies went down the last few innings. U.S. tied it up with a walk and a homer. Venezuela won it with a walk, a stolen base, and a double. So, hitters that have the patience and have good batting eyes and don't need to be the hero and get on base is never, ever a bad thing. You can change the rules all you want. You can bring in fences, but I'm telling you, just fundamental baseball, good batting averages, speed, knowing how to run the bases, being fundamental. That's going to win a lot of games for you. And obviously pitching and defense, it all goes hand in hand with each other.
How important was that stolen base in the bottom of the ninth? That was so close and just got in there. But how huge was that? The manager for Venezuela, I mean, he pulled all the right strings tonight, and he had his team. They just looked like they wanted it to me more than the U.S. I don't know.
It was big for the U.S., but I mean, it was bigger for Venezuela. I mean, it was. Hey, Venezuela finally won something other than Miss Universe. They have
I think I saw a few of Miss Universes tonight in the crowd.
They have some spectacular women, but good for them. And yeah, I mean, the country it was more important for the country for sure. The U.S. can just kind of go on. These guys are going to be making their 40 million, no big deal. But for Venezuela, it probably meant a little bit more for sure.
Now watch Trump get all upset and he says, "All right, I'm annexing Venezuela. We still won the World Baseball Classic. I've annexed Venezuela."
25% tariffs on Venezuela. That's a good point.
I mean, aren't they occupying it now anyway? I mean, whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I could see that. We still won. I've taken over. We're running Venezuela.
Yeah.
Boy.
Did you talk about Skubal leaving the team? And that may be a little bit of.
I've been ripping him. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that
either you're in or out. You're in or you're out.
Exactly. Don't take up a roster spot just for, a week.
You took a roster spot up because you said you wanted to be a participant and you would have collected a championship if you won it, and you would have, but you didn't do anything to win anything. You didn't do anything to help. Yeah, you beat Mexico, but I think they could have beaten Mexico with, McLean if he would have pitched that game. But
yeah, at the end of the day, this came down to the U.S. hitters. I mean, their pitching, the U.S.'s pitching was just lights out for the majority of the tournament. And again, tonight, they did their jobs. This falls on that vaunted lineup. They have themselves to look in the mirror. And that's just how it is. Last year they lost 3-2 to Japan as well. So this is two straight, finals, World Baseball Classic finals, where they put up 2 runs.
Yeah,
So
2 runs in 2 championships, and they both ended the same way with strikeouts.
and they
Last
had
time
what?
it was Trout.
What did they have? Damn, 3 hits tonight.
Let me look. They had, I got the box score right here. They had 6 hits. No, I'm looking at, hold on, that's Venezuela. They had 3 hits. 3 hits.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm looking at. I'm
Harper had
at
2 of them. Harper had 2 of them. Terang had the other. So
lot of offers in that lineup.
yeah, let's go over this here. Bobby Witt 0 for 3 with a walk. Bryce Harper 2 for 4 with a run and a home run and 2 RBIs. Judge 0 for 4, 3 Ks. Schwarber 0 for 3, 3 Ks and a walk. Bregman 0 for 3. Henderson 0 for 1. Anthony 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Will Smith 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Bryce Terang 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Buxton 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And Pete Crow Armstrong 0 for 2. Nobody hit. Schwarber batted .320 for the tournament. Witt 250. Harper 214. Judge 222. Bregman was 320. Schwarber 320. Bregman 143. Henderson 400. Anthony 280. Will Smith 231. Terang 364. Buxton 0. Also 0 for Cal Raleigh. Pete Crow Armstrong was hit 263. Aaron Judge had a 364, a 481 slugging. I don't know what his OPS was. Geez, my goodness. He struck out too many times in big situations.
I sent that in the group text when they were down 2-0.
Yeah.
And it was a 3-1. And Danny, what do we look for on a 3-1 pitch? There's nothing I'm looking for but dead fastball. And he got one right over the middle of the plate. That's a pitch that if you're a superstar like Judge,
he was guessing off speed. He should have been guessing his pitch that he could just drive.
And you're the captain and you're the superstar. You're possibly the best player in the league. You got to take that 3-1 pitch and hit it out of the ballpark. Now, who tied it up? Harper tied. Harper got it. Took him off the hook. But Judge,
Judge came up next after Harper to possibly be the go-ahead.
That's
run.
right. That's right.
And,
that's right.
Yeah.
But just a lot of the big guys just did not have good tournaments. So
Yeah.
It'll be interesting because I know it meant a lot to the U.S. It'll be kind of interesting to see how this carries over for a lot of these guys going into the regular season. Probably nothing. They're professionals, but you never know. You never know because they had the weight on their shoulders to win this tournament, especially when Japan was knocked out and they maybe had a little bit of a letdown because the Dominican was loaded.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the day off in between games, the U.S. hasn't played for a couple of days. That might have helped the pitching staff and their arms recuperate. But hitting is contagious. It's rhythmic.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. I'm not making excuses for them, but because that was not Palencia is nasty in the ninth, but the rest of the pitchers for Venezuela were not all that. And the U.S. has no excuse scoring 2 runs against that staff.
Yeah.
None.
Wow. It looks like the U.S. Look at that. Look at them getting their medals there. Oh, and Rob Manfred giving the wow. So Venezuela pulls it off. They were, it's pretty interesting. You know what I would love to see personally? I mean, I love baseball, right? And I love, hey, Shell, good to see you in here. Look who's here. All right. Good to see you. But you know what I would really love to see? And I wish they would give us, if Major League Baseball was smart, they would give us the Dominican versus Venezuela in the Dominican or Venezuela or wherever, and the crowds. You want to talk about watching entertainment?
Oh,
Just watch them play in winter ball. It is wild, absolutely wild. I mean, it's like it makes the it I don't know how to describe it, but it just makes anything in sports in America look like you're having a golf match. I mean, it looks like the US is having a golf match comparably, because you could take our best, wildest sporting event with crowds, whether it's college football and the place going crazy or what, but you just watch the DR play Venezuela in winter ball. Oh my goodness.
oh God, yeah, just completely insane. And just think about the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of old baseball heads that are just used to the game, hit a homer, put your head down, go around the bases, show absolutely no emotion at all because you're showing up the other team. It's a game at the end of the day. It's a game. So baseball has finally come around because of all the international play and show U.S. baseball that, hey, it's okay to show emotion. Like you're not showing up the other team. You're just celebrating, doing something good and firing up your team and firing up your fans. There's nothing wrong with that. And when the other team does it, you do it right back to them and you just accept it. That's the way it is. It makes for the game so much more entertaining. I can't believe any baseball fan that has watched this tournament for the last 2 weeks and saw how passionate it was from the players' point of view and the fans' point of view can say that, just traditional regular baseball, the way it's been played for the last, 100 years, was better from an entertainment point of view.
Yeah. Yeah. And look at Cliff's comment. Yeah, look out for Cuba once they get things settled there. And Cuba's always had some talent. I mean, some really talented players have come out of Cuba. And I wonder how this tournament would look if they did it in mid-season at the All-Star break and took a couple weeks off like hockey does when they do the Olympics. They did this every 3 years and just okay, all right, we're gonna start spring. We're gonna start the season a week earlier. We're gonna play all the games either in domes for the first week. Okay, Minnesota's gonna get some home games. Games in LA, San Francisco, Arizona, Sacramento, where the weather's good and you're not playing on the East Coast, and you just set that first week up so that games, you start spring training a week earlier like they did now, but start the real games starting around the 21st, 22nd of March, and have all those games either in domes or West Coast cities where the weather's good. Just skip all the games on the East Coast. That's where the weather problems are. And get that in. And then you build a week there, and maybe you push it back a couple extra days, and it goes till the first day or two of October instead of the 27th of September. And then and I think they could do it if they had all the games either in South America or in the U.S. Forget the Asia trip. Just, sorry, you want to participate, Japan and Korea and Chinese, you're coming over to play in the U.S. or in, the South America countries.
And,
or the islands, so to speak.
Dan, the baseball traditionalists are going to say you can't decide a championship on one game. Baseball is a 7-game series, a 5-game series, at the least a 3-game series. But with this kind of a tournament and with the players that are playing in it now, you just can't do it. It has to stay the way it is. It's basically 2.5 to 3 weeks. Once you get to tournament play in the final 8, it's a 1-game knockout. It has to stay that way, and this is why. If a superstar ever gets hurt in this tournament, and I'm not talking about out for 6 weeks, I'm talking about out for the year, a superstar player, there's going to be a huge backlash that this tournament needs to go away. I hope it never does, and I hope it never happens. But just think about an Aaron Judge or a Schwarber or Bobby Witt. I mean, those guys are so important to their major league teams, and if they're out for half a year or, God forbid, the full year, a major pitcher tears his
UCL.
Yeah, I almost said ACL. I'm thinking football. Tears his ligament and he's out for the year. All the backlash is going to be like, oh, this tournament's got to go. We can't be jeopardizing our regular team. So it's something that they need to keep it in the format that it is. Quick, get it done, get it over with. It's perfect the way it is. Don't try to get don't think about it too much and start going to 3-5-game series to determine a championship.
Oh yeah. No, you'll never have that. Yeah, you'll never. Well, they just sang the national anthem for Venezuela, it looks like, and their team is pretty pumped up. I mean, that was a raucous crowd. There's a lot of Venezuelans down there in the Miami area, and that was definitely a 70-30 crowd, maybe 65-35 best. It was pro.
We said it the other night. You better move this game to Seattle or Billings or Billings, Montana.
Yeah.
Or Field of Dreams, Iowa. If it's anywhere in the southern part of the U.S., it's going to be 75-25, 70-30. With any of these teams, whether it's Venezuela, whether it's Mexico, whether it's Dominican, they just come out. They're just more passionate. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. Look at Senior. You guys should have brought out Maduro to close the game. That would have freaked him out. Jeez. I think there was an injury, but it was not on the field, but it was in the celebration. Edwin Diaz tore his ACL or something in his knee, I think, 3 years ago with Puerto Rico, right? Puerto Rico, I think Diaz.
I think so.
Yeah. I think what Graves says right here, I think America is got so much activities and so many sports. I mean, you think about it, Venezuela doesn't have a ton of sport. I mean, it is a national, it is huge for them. And they, hey man, you look at this tournament, what's so awesome about it is you got all these guys that are playing major league teams. I mean, we saw a rise out there for Venezuela and Buto. Buto got in there, and I'd love to see Buto do what he did tonight. He shut down. I think he gave up one hit, maybe to Harper, I think it was, or something. I can't remember who he gave up a hit to, I think. But he got Judge. Yeah, I think he gave up a hit to, he got 3 of the 4 guys out. And he comes off the mound all fired up, man, pumping his fist because it means something. Love to see that atmosphere at Oracle in a playoff game. I want to see see that.
And another thing on the crowd disparity. I mean, we just got to remember, America's a melting pot. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm American, but I'm of a Mexican descent with my dad. You're American, but of Italian descent. So, unless you're an American Indian, you have another country in your blood. And when your country plays the U.S., it's a little bit of a conflict. It's like it can go either way, and you're happy, you're good to go. But
Yeah. And
There
I
was
agree
there
with,
was a lot of passion for the
yeah,
Italian team. I tell you,
yeah,
over the last few days, I've heard a
yeah.
lot of support and a lot of pride
Yeah, I
about the
was
Italian
pulling
team.
for them. I would have been rooting for Italy tonight if they were playing the U.S. But I'm with deloading. The realistic nature of this is that U.S. fans care more about the World Series and everyone else cares about the WBC. That's why I'm not upset. It's good seeing people win who really care. Yeah, hey,
That's a good point. That's fair.
I mean, I look at that. They just put up the flag. Venezuela 2026 champions. You know what? I'm cool with another country other than the U.S. winning because the U.S. to me, um, I don't know. I just think, like I said, they didn't want it as bad, and so I'm just going to close this this last part out. I just want to talk Giants baseball for 10 minutes, then we're gonna close the show. Guys, I think this final roster, to me, it looks like Bryce Eldridge is going to start the year in AAA. I think that's where I was out at the ball yard yesterday, and he didn't look too good at the plate. Although I did catch he did throw me a ball after the last out, being the first baseman. I stood up. He threw the ball to me. I had to reach and extend. I still have it, Los. I reached. I got it. Asked Mark Graves. He was right there. It was on a platter, though. It was coming in at, it looked like a 747 looking to land. It looks so slow. But I was able to. I gave the ball to a little kid. But anyway, he didn't look good at the plate. He struck out 3 times. Encarnacion's out of options, and he's starting to hit the ball more. I think they're going to keep Encarnacion. Eldridge, he might only be down for a month at AAA. I think they're keeping. I think so. It's Encarnacion as your let's say he's the DH. Okay. Now there's your 9 guys. Now you need 4 subs. And I think it comes down to, you got Susak as the backup catcher. That's your 10th position player. Your 11th position player is Casey Schmidt. Your 12th position player, I'm going to say, is Luis Matos. I think they keep him. Your 13th and final position player comes down to either Christian Koss or Grant McCray. And I'm going to advocate for Grant McCray, and here's why. Hear me out, everybody. I've said this before, but I'm going to present it, and I'm sure other people will take this idea and say it was their own. You know how that goes.
Plagiarism at its best.
Yeah. Christian Koss is not going to. Where is the opportunity for Christian Koss to play when Matt Chapman and Willie Adames play every game, every inning? They're not coming out. Luis Ariz is not coming out unless it's for late inning defensive purposes. Rafi Devers at first base is not going to come out. But your outfielders are Ramos, Bader, and Lee. Those guys, Bader's never played a full season. He's not a guy that plays every day. Plus, when you need a left-handed bat and your bench is Susak, Schmidt, Matos, and Koss, who's coming up when you got a tough right-handed pitcher to face, and that other manager can bring in a that other manager can just bring in a righty. Says, I don't have to worry about bringing a lefty. They have no left-handed bats, so I'm going to bring in a righty because they don't have anybody to counter it. But if you got a Grant McCray on the bench, now that manager has to think a little bit. Okay, in a situation, if I bring in a righty and he's got to face 3 guys, they could pull up Grant McCray or a Will Brennan, for example. Or I would be talking about Drew Gilbert, but I don't think Gilbert is ready to play because of his shoulder impingement. He hasn't been able to throw. So I think he's probably, he'll be up at some point, maybe in a few weeks. But I don't think Koss is a guy that is going to get any. Where's he going to play?
Yeah.
You're going to play him just to, it's not like he's the second baseman, Schmidt's the second baseman, and you're going to go, okay, Casey's been playing second for 5 games in a row. I need to get Koss in there this week. No, Arise is your second baseman. You need to get Casey in there somewhere. You're not going to get both Casey and Koss in the game.
Yeah.
So they need a left-handed bat, in my opinion. So I don't know if they're thinking this way, but this is the way I would build the team. Give me 2 extra outfielders. Give me a guy with speed. Give me a guy, McCray's got all the tools. He's cut down on his strikeouts this spring. If he's not cutting it in his games he's getting into, and he's going back to previous last year and the year before McCray where he's striking out too much, you can bring up Gilbert or you can bring up Brennan, guys that are going to make more contact. But I just think, you know what? I'm not against Koss. He's a good player. He's a good utility guy. He's a guy to have, on your bench, and he can pinch run. He could play the infield positions. Heck, you can even get him to play left field in an emergency. But I just would rather have a left-handed bat. What do you guys think in the chat?
This is what's so frustrating to me about baseball in 2026 and recently is this has been a camp where a lot of position players are having nice camps, and there's a lot of guys that deserve to make this team based on how they are playing. But we're in 2026 where we have a 5-man rotation and we need 8, count them, 8 relief pitchers on the roster. You only have 1 closer, hopefully, 1 settles in. So that means you need 7 relief pitchers to get the game from the starter to the closer. I just can't stand that. I wish it was more like an 11 pitchers on the roster, 12 at the most. I want extra guys on my bench to be able to, pinch hit, to sub out defensively, all the things that you do as a manager to counter, because, Jesus Rodriguez and Brennan and, some of the other guys, Hobner.
I love Rodriguez. And
it's just maddening that they have to keep, because basically my job as a GM is put the 25 best players on the roster, but that's not how they're going to look at it. They're going to keep a couple of very average pitchers as relievers over a couple of pretty good position players. That's how that weakens your team, but that's the game that we have right now. And I just wish it wasn't not like that. That being said, this is not the Farhan era. This is not Bob Melvin or Kapler as manager. Kind of conservative, kind of go with the veteran. I may be wrong here, Dan, but I think Vitello wants to make a splash, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a very, very big surprise that makes the roster that we do not expect. I don't know if it's gonna be a Hobner. I don't know if it's gonna be a Jesus Rodriguez. Because remember, I agree with you. Susac deserves to be on the team, but if Rodriguez can play second base, he can play outfield, and he can play catcher. That's some versatility right there.
I'd rather have Rodriguez than Koss personally, because
I would too.
And he can play second base. Casey could play shortstop in a pinch if you need it. You can always, you're talking for one game, then you bring up if it's going to be out for a while, then you bring up a better shortstop. But I'm just looking here at this. Did not play, I guess. Okay. I wish I knew I hate that they put, I'm looking at the 62 roster of the World Series. It's 25 guys. And I'm trying to count the pitchers because back then they pitched, four on 4 days. They only had four starters.
They had four
And
starters, and I bet you they had 5 or 6 relievers.
that's what I'm
I bet.
thinking. I'm trying to count how many. Here, if I pull this up, you might recognize some of the names. I don't recognize all these names, but this is where the game's changed because guys can't pitch more than, All right, there's the roster. Philippe Alou, Matty Alou, Ed Bailey was catcher number 3. Okay. Alou was Matty Alou outfielder 4. Carl Bowles, DNP. I don't know what he was. Bobby Bolin. Okay. He's a pitcher. Bowman, the shortstop. Well, we can just count outfield 1, 2, 3. Shortstop Bowman is 4. Cepeda 5. Davenport 6. Howler 7. Hiller 8. Harvey Kuhn 9. Mays 10. Willie McCovey 11. Bob Neiman was a pinch hitter 12. John Orsino was a catcher 13. Jose Pagan was a shortstop 14. So they had 11 pitchers. 14.
There you go.
There you go. 14. And this is the way the game's changed. Now you need all these specialists because these guys can't go 7 innings anymore.
And Gravy makes a great point. Like most of the bullpen guys can only throw 1 inning. And that's the problem right there. What was the name of the pitcher? I was trying to think while you're talking. The classic game against the Nationals that went like 18 innings.
18 innings, yeah.
Was it Yasmir Petit?
Yeah.
Am I saying his name wrong? Okay, Petit.
I know I don't remember how to say his first name, but yeah, you got it right. Petit. He pitched like 7 innings or something.
To me, when you're putting a roster together, if you have more guys like Petit that can throw almost every day, maybe every other day, and they're just not giving you 1 inning or 1 1/3. They're bridging you from the starter who goes 5 or 6 innings, and they're throwing 2 or 3 innings. Maybe they're throwing so well that, and this is another pet peeve I have about the game. You got a guy that's throwing really good, and he's just lights out, and then they take him out because it automatically has to be the closer in the ninth because they got to meet their incentives or they got to get their saves. Why take him out if he doesn't throw a lot of pitches? What I'm trying to say, and I brought this up on the show before, Dan, like if starters are just going to be kept at a pitch count of 90 to 100 pitches, and that means 4, 5, 6 innings, why not have 2, maybe 3 guys in your bullpen that are just bulky guys that they can throw almost every other day, and they're going to give you 2 or 3 innings when they go. That way, you only use 2 pitchers to complete a game. How many times have we seen the Giants use 5, 6, 7 pitchers just to finish 9 innings? And because of that, it limits how many guys you can have on your roster as everyday players.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good for the game because baseball is about, again, maneuvering in the late innings and pitch hitting this guy and looking at this matchup, putting this guy in as a defensive replacement, swapping out somebody, especially with the pitchers involved. So I'm so not a fan of 13 pitchers on the roster. Sometimes it's 14. But yeah, I like it the old way where it was 11 guys and you had 14 position players. Just made for a better game.
How about this? How about if you did if you were able to build a baseball team and you actually built a team that you had Logan Webb, Garrett Crochet, Christopher Sanchez, Max Fried, and Carlos Rodon. Okay, you don't have Skubal. And you got those 5 as your starters, or throw in Gosman and take out, somebody at the top, or a Zach Gallen. But you had basically 5 guys, or Valdez, but you had 5 guys that can throw 190 plus innings. All right. And you said, you know what? We're going to go with a 14 position players and 12 pitchers. We got 5 starters, 7 in the bullpen because we're not going to tax our bullpen so much. And we'll bring up guys when we need to, but we're going to have that 14th guy because we're going to have that guy that is like a speedster that can just come in and pinch run. We're going to carry this Oliva guy. We're going to carry, what's his first name? The guy, I've watched him in the spring. I put a highlight. The guy stole 12 bases this spring, and he's very, very good. He's very fast, and he's a decent player. But you can afford to carry a guy like that because he's a little older, and you don't need to develop him anymore in the minors. You don't have to worry about, he needs all of his at-bats. No, he's on the big league squad as our 14th guy, and when we need a stolen base, he's coming in. He can go out and play in the field if we have to, too. But where's that?
How did the Red Sox get back into that 3-0 deficit against the Yankees? Dave Roberts gets on, steals second, scores on a base hit. They win that game, and then the next game, and then the next game, and then the next game. So having that speed on the bench just makes all the difference in the world to be able to like win a game late in the ninth rather than just another bullpen arm. I would like to see the Giants. Again, I'm just not a big fan of teams and GMs, and when they put a roster together, that they have to do what every other team is doing. Why? It's your team. You could do it any way you want. Just because other teams are doing that doesn't mean the Giants have to do that. I would like to see them have two guys that are potential starters that maybe are in the bullpen because they can eat up, 2, 3, 4 innings. I was hoping it would be Birdsong, but now he's having arm issues, and I was hoping it maybe Wisenhunt, but it's not the case.
Go back to some of the days where Logan Webb is not a power pitcher. He's go get guys like Logan Webb and train them in the minors to throw 200. Get them up to that 200 inning level, and have a ton of guys that know how to pitch. They're not just 98, 99 on the radar, but they can hit 94. They can hit 95 on occasion, but they mix and match, and they throw the splitter and the sinker, and they've got the changeup, and they've got they have an array of pitches. And if you built your farm system like that, and you had 5 starters that can go 200 innings, imagine how much ease. Now you can have 7 studs instead of carrying an 8th guy that's just kind of the scrub. You can have 7 really good bullpen guys. They're not going to get used all the time because your starters are going 7. And you know what? How about if we train these guys to go 115 to 120 instead of 100? We got to stop. If we can go 120 and they get that extra inning that they can pitch, instead of going 6, they go 7. The guy that's efficient that can get to 100 pitches through 7, maybe he can go 8 because he can throw 120 pitches every 5 days. Juan Marichal threw over 200 pitches in one game. He pitched 18. He pitched 18 innings against. It was another great pitcher. I can't remember.
Warren Spahn.
It was a 1-0 game, and I think my brother was at that game. To be honest with you, it was in like the early 60s or something, like mid 60s, I think. I think my brother was at the game. But look, he pitched, and they pitched on 4 days rest, Los. They didn't have a 5-man rotation, and there was no injuries. I
know. We talk about it all the time. I mean, just like they pitched on 4 days rest, they threw more pitches. I don't know, they were icing their arm more or less. I mean, they should really do a study of why pitchers that were smoking cigarettes in between innings, they're not in the gym working out. They don't have all the vitamins and trainers and, advances that today's pitchers has now, but they were tougher and they pitched more innings and they pitched more frequently. And they didn't want to come out of games, because they weren't thinking about protecting their contract. Right. What are these pitchers tripping off of? Your money's guaranteed. Like you might as well let it all out. Your money's guaranteed. You don't got to worry about getting hurt and you're not going to get paid. You're going to get paid your $30-40 million regardless. But this is why I personally value, Logan Webb more than most Giants fans do, because he's not going to maybe throw 97, 98, which is what the casual fans love. Oh my God, look at the radar guy. Jesus. Oh, he's out by the fourth or fifth inning. See, they don't understand that. If I like Webb because he consistently throws 6 to 7 innings almost every start, and he saves your bullpen. And that is so much more valuable than a guy that's throwing 97, 98 and barely hits 6 innings almost every start, makes your bullpen work so much. I'm just not a fan of that. Hey Dan, one more thing, Dan. You know what I've been asking for almost 3 years now. I want that damn knuckleballer on my team. I want 2 knuckleball pitchers on my team, a lefty and a righty. I want him to come in and throw 100 pitches and just throw the knuckleball, which is no what's it called on the arm?
No stress.
No strain or no stress on the arm.
Yeah.
Hitters today looking at a knuckleball after they see 96 to 98 all through spring training and all through games, they wouldn't know what to do with that. You're not going to tell me there's not a kid out there that cannot throw a knuckleball. He would be a sensation right now in today's game. Hitters wouldn't know what to do with that. I'm sorry.
Look,
that would save your bullpen.
I'll tell you what I think the issue is with all these guys. I think all the weights and all the training and all the drive line for speed is pushing these guys to the max. And they're only so much that UCL can take speed wise before it snaps. And to me, the old school guys that just pitched and they pitched on 4 days rest, they never had the arm issues. They didn't work out. I think these tendons are too tight and all of the muscles that they're doing. How many guys are pulling hamstrings and all these soft tissue injuries because of the weights? Willie Mays, I bet you Mays didn't do a whole lot of weights. And I'm sure Willie Mack didn't. Mays was built because he worked. They'd worked off-season jobs. They didn't do all this stuff. And it's just too much stress on the body that these guys are, younger. They're pumping, and they're so tight that there's just nothing left when it just snaps. I mean,
I think more than having big shoulders and a huge chest and big biceps that you get either naturally or in the weight room. I think a big thing with hitters. Did you see the documentary on Mays? The most recent one. Did you see how big his hands were?
Mm-hmm.
When I would almost bet that the best hitters in baseball, I would almost bet that the majority of them have larger than average size hands, because when you can control the bat like a toothpick in your hands and just be able to flick it and go the other way or pull on an inside pitch and hit it out of the ballpark, Mays had huge hands. So those guys did not live in the weight room. Like I said, they didn't have a trainer. They just were baseball players. And you could be 5'7" or you could be 6'7". If you can hit, you can hit. Yeah. And then the same thing pitching. You didn't need to throw 98 or 99 to be successful. Baseball pitchers is all about having the hitters off balance, getting it off of the sweet spot of the bat.
Why is Logan Webb so successful? I mean,
and to Gravy's point, great point. Maybe I'm reaching for a left-handed knuckleball pitcher. I think he's right. I don't think there's ever been a knuckleball pitcher that throws lefty in the history of baseball, which is mind-blowing when you think about it. But I think he's right. So I'll settle for 2 right-handed knuckleball pitchers. Hey, your boy Candiotti, Dan, he's got to teach some young guy in the minor leagues how to throw it, right?
Yeah. Is my mic working? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay. We were out at the ball yard yesterday, Mark Graves and I, and guess who we sat next to? We sat next to 2 of the guys that went to school with the Kuipers. They were from Wisconsin, and we're just sitting there next to them. One of the guys played with the middle Kuiper. I think that's Jeff. I think there might be more Kuipers. I'm not sure all of them, but I think Glenn might be the youngest of the brothers. But it was pretty cool. We're sitting there talking to these guys. Dan West, if you're out there,
Nice.
one of the cards, talking to Dan West, and then the other one. Let me see. I texted Glenn, so let me see if I got the other guy's name right. I'm probably going to mess that one up, but that was Buck Steiniger and Dan West. We were sitting next to, and it was
that's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I was there. I love. Hey, last game we went to last week, we were just talking with people in the stands from the Bay Area that came down. We're just baseball stories when you're watching the game are just awesome. Just awesome.
I got to show you something. What is so great about baseball more than any sport? I guess you can do this with football. When you Sunday, or Saturday college football, the tailgaters, you meet people. But we're leaving, and we're out at the park. In fact, I saw Susan Slusser walk by very, very late, and I said, "Hi, Susan," and she said, "Hi, what's your name?" I said, "This is Dan," but I didn't really tell her too much. But we're out there we're so check this out. We're out at the and we meet these guys, and let me put the volume up here we meet these guys they're all buddies from the group, San Diego. And there's Mark. They gave him a beer.
Nice.
And these guys are playing. They got cornhole in their Padre colors. They got the yellow and brown bags. And look at the car. And we're just sitting there kind of having some fun with these guys. And one of these guys was really, their team was struggling. I says, "Hey, you need a pinch hitter. Let me in." So I didn't interrupt their game. But anyway, that was that. So I took a shot. Mark videoed me. My shots weren't too good. Little corn coal. Look at my shots. They were short, Los. They were short. I was off, but I found my range at the end. I had 8 tosses. My first 4 or 5 were all short.
There you go.
But then I was like, okay, look at that. I was off. Here we go. Now I'm going to start finding my zone here. There we go.
Nice. But hey, Dan, just staying with this, I'm going to be stubborn and stay with this knuckleball thing. So I just saw quickly somebody in the chat said that Tim Wakefield is the best knuckleball pitcher of all time. I don't know. I think I might have to go with the Negro brothers.
Negro Phil and is it Tom?
And Joe.
No, Joe. Phil and Joe. Oh yeah, Joe. Which is the one that got thrown out of a game and he dropped his little scuffer in the he took it out of his pocket. And
I think that was Phil.
That was hilarious. He's like, and then Wilbur Wood one year won. Check this out. Wilbur Wood pitched a doubleheader, both ends of a doubleheader, because it was no strain on the arm. He went 24-20 one year with the White Sox. Imagine that. He won 24 games and lost, or vice versa. I'll look it up. Wilbur Wood pitched for the White Sox. That was a famous knuckleballer. How about Hoyt Wilhelm?
Yeah, I mean there's been quite a few of them. I'll tell you another pitch that's gone out of style is the screwball. Like who's thrown a screwball lately?
Who had the best one? Fernando?
Fernando's was nasty. I'll tell you, the Giants had a guy named Keith Comstock that threw a screwball.
I remember him. He got traded in that big trade with Dravecki and Kevin Mitchell. He was part of that trade.
And I'm almost positive Mike Norris threw a screwball, and he was a right-hander, right? So usually when you think screwball, you think from a lefty's point of view. But there was a few right-handers that threw it. So the screwball and the knuckleball again, like you said, great point. Everybody's at this place. What is it called? Timeline.
Yeah. Look at
Trying to get everybody to throw 98 to 100 miles an hour.
Oh my goodness! Look at Wilbur
That's
Wood.
so limited.
Look at Wilbur Wood. 24 and 17 and 72, 24 and 20 and 73, 20 and 19. Look at the innings pitched. 334, 376, 359, 320. Oh my goodness. All I got to do is bring up, and don't tell me that Bob Gibson was this guy could throw hard. He pitched every fourth day. And look at Bob Gibson's innings pitched. I'll just highlight the innings pitched. Look at this. Look at that.
Drive line. Thank you, Dom.
Look at that.
Line.
314, 304, 299, 294, 287, 280. These guys started 35, 36 games this season. And who would you rather have had on the mound tonight? Nolan McLean or Bob Gibson in his heyday?
God, come on. No, but I mean, okay. So again, I'm going to stay stubborn on this topic. Why couldn't it be outside the box to get an old school knuckleball pitcher, whoever that may be, whichever ones are alive right now? Candiotti comes to mind. How about bringing a guy like that to camp, paying him a salary? I don't care what you call him, assistant pitching coach, spring training specialist, whatever. Give him a salary and have him work with pitchers, or have a guy that threw a knuckleball at the major league level, or maybe at the high minor league level, that knows how to throw it, work with not every pitcher, because I think you have to have certain maybe long fingers to be able to throw that. I could be wrong there. I'm not a pitcher, but I think you have to have a specialized shaped hand to be able to throw a knuckleball pitcher. But for those that can, have an established knuckleball pitcher work with young guys in training camp and in the minors. And that way, when they get to the majors, I'm not saying every pitcher be a knuckleball pitcher. I'm just having a specialist, because it will save your bullpen. And then you don't need to keep 13 guys as pitchers on your roster. You can keep 11 because you got that nasty knuckleball pitcher. I'm telling you, hey, everything comes back. Old school Converse tops comes back. Everything comes back in style. Everything comes back in style, clothes-wise, music-wise. Can we bring the screwball and the knuckleball back, please? Please.
Come on, Los. Why don't you work on your knuckleball? What happens if you, Los, Carlos, now pitching for the San Francisco Giants, number 63, Carlos De La Fuente, and you come in with this 57-mile-an-hour knuckleball that nobody can hit, and you make it big time, man. Wouldn't that be awesome if you were able to come out and they signed you to a $5 million deal, and you were like, you'd be like ecstatic.
I'd love it, but I'm a knucklehead, not much of a knuckleball thrower. So.
All right, let me show you a difference of a baseball. Here's a baseball from 2025. See how white that is? Here's a ball I caught from Willie McCovey off Don Robinson. Pirates won 3-2 in 12 innings. May 15th, 1980. Look at the color.
Wow.
There's the I wrote on it. I caught it in the stands that day. And that was when I was a senior in high school. I graduated the next month in June of 1980. We had a radio station at the high school. I got a press pass for the day. That was the day I got to interview Dave Bristol, the manager for the Giants. I got to interview Greg Minton. He said, "Hey, you want a beer?" I'm like, I'm only 18, man. And Greg Minton, and that was the day I tried to interview Dave Parker. I think I've told you that story about.
I love Dave Parker, the Cobra.
Oh man, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. What a great player.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. But
Moon Man.
yeah, the
Greg
the
Minton.
Moon Man Minton. That was awesome. That was that 1980 team. It was a lot of fun. Willie Mack was on the team. I wish I would have went up to Willie Mack. I don't know why I didn't.
You were intimidated by him.
I don't
You were
know.
intimidated by his presence.
I don't know.
He
I
was
don't
such
remember.
a larger than life figure, you know.
Well, Dave Parker was even bigger as far as, he was Willie was like 6'4", but he was lanky. Parker was 6'5" and built, man. He was like a tight end.
Dan, you or the chat helped me out. Greg Maddox, one of the best pitchers of all time, didn't throw hard. He had a pitch that he would throw to left-handed hitters. And he would start it out. And again, Maddox is a right-handed pitcher. He would throw this pitch. I want to say it was a changeup, but I'm not too sure. It was so filthy. He would throw this pitch that would start inside and it would just break right over the middle of the plate to left-handers. They gave up on it. He struck out so many people with that. I don't even know what that pitch was, but I've never seen a right-handed pitcher throw a pitch that goes almost the opposite way of a slider. You think of a right-handed slider, it breaks away from a right-handed batter. This guy, Maddox, used to throw that pitch inside and would break right over the middle of the plate to lefties, and they just took it and struck out. I don't know what that pitch was, but again, teach it to other people, and see what happens.
Yeah, he threw it. I saw him throw it to a righty too. Greg Maddox was something else. He was such a smart guy, such a smart pitcher.
Circle change, yeah. I think Mike's right. Yeah, circle change. So it's interesting. Good point, Mike. It's not a traditional changeup. You think changeup, you think Trevor Hoffman. You think, who had a great changeup was Mario Soto of the Reds. That's nasty changeup. But that's a good point. I wonder what the difference is between a changeup and a circle change. I think Mike is right that Maddox was one of the few guys that could throw a circle change. Well, I'm just talking about pitches that, I don't know what made Maddox so special that he was able to throw it. But I'm just curious if it's teachable, just like the knuckler, just like the screwball. Bring something back that hitters of today just are not used to seeing. I think it would mess them all up.
Yeah. Here's Greg Maddox talking about that pitch. I think we might have something for you here. Here we go.
Well, basically, I had a fastball grip. Then my changeup grip was the same thing, just throwing off my ring finger.
Oh, wow.
And then the little cutter would be like that, and a curve, something like that.
Well, show me the change again. It was only with the ring finger, basically?
Well, it's really with these two fingers, and then wherever the ones want to settle in and get comfortable is fine. So that was kind of my changeup. And then just try to throw it exactly like your fastball and let your finger slow it down, not your arm.
Look at that. That's all. He did not have heat. He didn't.
No.
He just kept batters off balance.
And that's crazy that you can control a pitch and throw it where you want, where only your ring finger is on the top of the baseball. Yeah. Think about that. Think about gripping a baseball and how you need to have at least 3 fingers controlling it. And he had one, and it wasn't even his forefinger or his middle finger. It was his ring finger. That's what made that circle change so nasty. Probably that's really hard to do. Now I understand why not a lot of guys throw that. That's pretty hard. Yeah. And you want to know how great Greg Maddox is? He's one of the few guys that controlled Barry Bonds a little bit. He gave Bonds fits.
They both, they were.
But you know who gave Maddox fits?
Bonds.
Tony Gwynn.
Oh, well, Bonds did too at times, yeah. But Tony Gwynn was something else. I don't think Maddox. I heard a stat once that it was Maddox, Schmaltz, and Glavine struck out Gwynn like a total of. It was like a few times total. All 3 of them combined over their career. It's some crazy number.
Tony Gwynn has this ridiculous batting average against Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, Tom Glavine. He hit over 400 against Randy Johnson. Think about that. Randy Johnson scared left-handed hitters. And I think Gwynn hit it was either 390 or 400 against them. And it wasn't like 6 at-bats either. I just love talking about the old school players. I just do because.
All right. I think Mike Val's going to get this. Let's see if we may have something as a giveaway. We've got a giveaway here, and I'll figure it out. Whether it's a Casey Schmidt signed ball I've got right here, or but he says he loved Clark, but Mitchell kept me watching. Who's the first person that could come up with the nickname that was behind Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell? Go.
Can I say it or no?
No, you can type it in the private chat there. See that private chat button? Hit that.
Yep.
And I'm sure you know it. In fact, I was just talking about it last week on Twitter. Let's see. Yeah, we're still on. Okay, Los got it.
Did I get?
Yep, you got it.
Did that on my
beautiful chicken says, "What private chat? You guys don't have one. It's for the host to talk." Anybody? Look at this. What private chat?
Yeah. Don't think anything fun. Don't think anything funny. You know, it's just the host to be able to speak. Hey, they're talking privately about us.
Yeah, sometimes we do. Yeah. All right. Nobody's come up with it yet. Come on, Mike. You know it. I can.
Oh God, you guys don't. There's a famous poster.
Yeah, I put it up on Twitter the other day.
Yeah, to give you a hint, there's a famous poster of Clark and Mitchell.
Right. I'm gonna give
and their nickname was behind. Yeah,
I'm gonna give them a hint. You guys ready? NASDAQ.
Beautiful Chicken wants to buy a private chat.
Can I buy a private chat?
Yeah, $20 super chat, and we'll include you in the private chat.
There we go. $20 super chat, Beautiful Chicken, and we'll put you in the private chat. We'll post it.
You can see all our behind the scenes talking about everything.
Oh, Mike Val already got it. Oh wait, Dom was first, right above him. Look at that.
There you go.
They could see the chat. I was going to put. They got it. Yeah, Dom got it. Pacific.
There you go, Dom.
Stock Exchange. There we go, guys. All right. They said scroll up. You guys got it. Way to go. And Dan, Mike, and I got it. Ty. Yeah, I think it was. Let me see. One came in front of the other though. So I don't know if you knocked them off like a bumper car or something like that or what. But let's get out of here, Los. We're gonna come back Thursday night. Right now, I'm trying to confirm it. Let me see if I've got it confirmed. Not confirmed yet, but we're working on it. Trying to get Alan. We talked. He threw out Thursday's date, but I haven't heard back from him yet. So look for maybe Alan Styles of Locked On Giants, and also he's up there in Sacramento, and he's on the radio there, the drive time. Alan Styles, a good guy. And let's shout out tomorrow night, guys. Wednesday night, there is a show you need to go watch on Wednesday night. All right. And I am talking about on YouTube, and I've got to find it if I have it here. Hold on. I thought I had it up here. I'll make another banner here, but you need to go check out Polymac Particles on YouTube. All right. That's Paulie Polymac Particles. Hold on here. I'm typing slow. Polymac Particles on YouTube, and they come on every day at noon, Monday through Friday, but Wednesdays they come on at night at 8 p.m. Go check Polymac Particles out. They're great gig. Polymac and Tony Ryan, they cover all the Bay Area sports. This is formerly, Polymac with Murph and Mac in the morning. So you've got it, and Tony was the producer. So you're talking about two guys that know the industry, and they will be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. All right. That's your
and Wednesday night is a great introduction to the show because it's everybody's off work and it's a little bit more lively, and the guys they just do a great. It's just pure entertainment for 60 to 90 minutes. I mean, they talk sports, but they also talk a little bit of music. They talk a lot about pop culture. They're very, very random, but it's a lot of humor, a lot of laughs. It's a good getaway from the reality of work and stress and life that we all go through. So check them out tomorrow night and see if you like it. I'm sure once you see it, you'll get addicted to it.
Yeah,
but,
if you got your fill on Giants talk for the week, go check out. They'll talk Giants, but they won't. They're not going to bore you ad nauseum. We're coming on twice a week, and we're talking. We've been on a little bit more because we've been talking WBC and stuff. But once the regular season gets going, we'll be talking about the games themselves, and then we'll wrap about the game. But they're over at Polymac. Tony, they've got a lot of fun things, entertainment. You're gonna enjoy the show. If
you're a true Giants fan, you'll love that they rip on Ohtani to no end. They make fun of him at every possible angle that you can imagine. So if you're anti-Dodgers, then you're at the right place with NorCal, and go check out Polymax because we all make fun of Ohtani. That's all we have. That's all we can do.
Yeah, it's as Dom says, it's like a craps table, always a roll of the dice. So
that's right. That's
a lot of fun, good stuff. So go check it out. Go subscribe and turn on their notifications bell like you should at NorCal Sports Network. Turn on the notifications bell. Every time we go live, you'll get notified. Every time Polymac and Tony go live, you'll get notified, and you'll have a lot of fun. It's a real intimate group, the chat. It's very much, they call it the familia, right? It's a family. So go check it out, and you won't be disappointed. And we'll be doing some cross shows as well. They'll be coming on NorCal Sports at times. I'll be heading over there at times. And we're probably going to do an event or two during the baseball season where we'll do up a meet and greet sometime in the summer. And it'll be fun. Los will be there. I'll be there. Paulie, Tony. You'll see Dom Peralta there. You'll see a lot of people. You'll see Red Jet Shell, who was in the chat earlier. You'll see a lot of people. And you'll have a great time, great food and laughter, and then we'll catch a Giants game together. So, so pretty cool. Anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. We're going to close this thing down. Let me get the music going, and we will catch you Thursday night. There we go. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Los, thanks for hopping on in, talking a little WBC, a little Giants baseball, and some old school baseball, talking some old style pitching, which, I kind of like that idea. I like when everybody else zigs, why not zag, right? Why not go train those guys, be the team that has 5 guys that can actually pitch, or, 8 guys, 9 guys that can pitch 200 innings, and then you say, we don't need 8 guys in the bullpen. We can get by with 7, and we'll carry that extra specialist, whether he's a third catcher or he's a base stealing threat. We're going to carry that guy, and hey, if we need to pull up an 8th reliever, That's easy. It's just flip of the switch and we'll have them up here the next day. But if you're pitching, if your guys are getting 6 2/3, 7 innings pitched, and you only have to pitch 2 guys in the bullpen, come on.
Think outside the box.
Thinks outside the box. This is what we do. And this is why Los wins fantasy baseball leagues. And it's why I win fantasy baseball leagues, because we think outside the box. So, and if you want to play fantasy baseball with us, email me at norcalsportsnetwork@gmail.com. We got one opening left. So email me quickly, norcalsportsnetwork@gmail.com, and we'll get you in the league, okay? I'm trying to find that email. I don't know what happened to it. It broke down. NorCal. Where did it go? Where's my NorCal Sports Network at Gmail? Anyway, it's not there. I must have lost it. No, there it is. Okay. You want to get in the league? Hurry up and send me an email. And you can take Los on. You can take me on. And if you get past both of us, then you're pretty good. All right, guys. Have a great night. And appreciate y'all. And we will catch you as I don't do the woo. I'll let Los do it. That's for somebody else's show.
That's his thing.
That's not my thing. But anyway, have a great night. Take care, everybody.